our story is very similar, brother, regarding
Yeah,
being promiscuous and kind of chasing something, trying to find whatever it is, through a woman.
right,
And and for me, it was early on. I had my parents were together for 30 years, but it was kind of a tumultuous relationship, and they really didn't get along a lot. And they both, experienced infidelity, doing their own thing, and thinking
right.
they hiding it from us, but we saw every piece of it. So,
Yeah,
but so that kind of spearheaded me, um, and I look back and say, man, what if I would have chose the other road? Because kids, man, when you see your family, you're gonna do one thing or another. You're either gonna duplicate what they did, or you're gonna, try to run away from it and do the opposite.
right.
And for me, I definitely duplicated for a while, and making this, so many mistakes along the way until I found what was true for me. But if you look back, man, just thinking about those moments where you were chasing, like, what was the key thing? If you have come to grips with it yet, what were you looking for?
I don't know, man. I think it ultimately boiled down to just feeling wanted,
Mm,
you know?
yeah.
I just I needed to feel wanted all the time. And I think there was also like a sense of thinking I was cool, the more people I get, and that kind of thing, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, ultimately, I think that I was searching for just somebody to want me, like really, really want me,
Yeah.
and all I got was a long list of people who were not special to me by any means.
So real, man. I can relate so much to that, man. Just thinking about wanting that, my whole platform is based on rejection, and how
Right,
I kept receiving that. Started, from my mom and pretty much every woman I've dated or whatever, just because they never could fill that void that I was looking for. And ultimately that came from Jesus Christ. That feeling of that
right,
ultimately came from me fully receiving him into my life. And
right,
you
right.
could be around it all your life and hear about him and all that, but once you finally accept him, you know, and honestly apply the principles of the word of God to your life, that's when those voids, begin to get fulfilled. You know,
Yeah. See, even if you don't, even if you don't believe in God, we still look at the Bible. There's just so much wisdom there.
yes, sir.
I mean, just take it. If you don't want to believe in God, just look at it. Just what's the harm in looking at it and realizing that whoever wrote this book, they were wise people,
Yeah.
you know, and they gave good advice, and we know who really wrote the Bible, but
Right.
you know, or who gave the words to the people who wrote it,
For sure.
but it's all wisdom, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just a great way to live your life is by the word, whether you believe in God or not.
Yes, absolutely, man. That's so true. So what's next, man? I mean, you come back together. I imagine it's been so many tears shed, so many, moments of asking for forgiveness and everything. So where are you now, and how do you foresee things going with you two?
Well, like I said, there's been like a lot of I don't know how you would put it, like ripple effect damage, residual damage maybe, that's just been branching off of the main hurt, and we've been dealing with that. And we're still dealing with stuff from me from years ago, that's just what happens when you do stuff, when you hurt each other. That stuff, it stays with you. That's something that you're gonna have to keep trying to get over and get through. But you got
Yeah.
to do it with each other, with love and compassion and understanding. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Just coming at each other, you know, guns blazing about everything. It's going to go downhill real quick. And I'll tell you that because I know, because that's how I was for a while after her little escapade. And, you know, like there's been a lot of jealousy, a lot of insecurity. And then I started actually falling into a pretty deep depression. and I was starting to get a lot of anxiety, and I've never dealt with that before, ever, my whole life. Like no matter what, I mean, I've been low, but I don't think I've ever actually had depression because when this stuff started hitting me, it hit me hard, man. Like I wasn't even wanting to get up out of bed, and it was all I just felt so down about myself, like all because of everything that happened. I'm like, what did I like? What's wrong with me? You know, why wasn't was I not good enough in this area or that area, or I'm not handsome enough, or what? You know what I mean? Like just everything. I'm questioning my entire existence basically.
Yeah.
And so we've been dealing with that, and I just started kind of moving past that, and I'm still kind of personally like me and my wife, we're working on things. Um, we're working on communication. Um, we're nowhere near perfect by any means.
Yeah.
I just got into a fight with her before I came over here, but no one said it's going to be perfect. It's going to be a constant work. It's constant work. That's what it is. That's what marriage is. It's constant
Yeah.
work and constantly trying to grow, and not when you do mess up, realize what you're doing immediately as soon as you can
Yeah.
and try to change it, you know. Um and I'm not just talking about like messing up with like, you know, sexual behaviors with other people. I'm talking about like any kind of messing up,
For sure.
You've like we just got into a fight. I'm about to go apologize to her when I get home because I know I started
Right.
it. um, but yeah, it's like so we're working on that. We've been able to uh reconcile quicker than ever before, and so like I said, it's not perfect, but we're definitely moving in the right direction. And but for me personally, I am still kind of struggling with like this whole like I don't know, I don't feel great about myself all the time. And I feel like, I stopped putting everything on the people that did me wrong. And it's like it feels like subconsciously, like I didn't do it on purpose. I wasn't like, oh, you know, hate yourself. No, but I'm like, I feel like subconsciously I just like, I don't know. Sometimes I wake up and I'm not who I was before, and not as, I don't know. I just don't feel like Zach sometimes, and like I don't like me at sometimes. But I know it's something that I need to work through, and my wife is helping me. She's been very sweet about it all, and very reassuring, and that's just but that's just what it is. There's consequences every time you sin against somebody else. Every time you hurt somebody else, there's going to be long lasting consequences that you didn't even think were going to be consequences, you know and it's just how you deal with them. And I think we're doing a pretty good job. We're still going through it, but we're on the right track.
Yeah, man. Man, and first I want to say that would definitely make sense that you have those thoughts of, self doubt
Yeah.
and things of that nature. You talk about the long history of, wanting to feel wanted, you know, to now someone that is probably the most significant person in your life having that incident. It would make sense to feel like it's a hit on you. So that's
Right,
definitely
right.
a normal reaction.